Hey, it's Melissa from Melissa's Creations, and here is September's Paper Pumpkin. I did do a Facebook Live event where I opened it and put a couple of the projects inside here together. So I'm going to redo it for you guys today on the YouTubes of the interwebs. So here is as always, the little thank you card from Paper Pumpkin. There was actually no sticker on this today, which was fantastic. So the ink spot we got is Old Olive, a very, very lovely color from the Brights collection. The stamps are so cute. This pumpkin, it's a layer pumpkin, so there's a little shadow piece here that you stamp on top of this solid image. It makes a gorgeous pumpkin, which you'll see in just a moment. And then also the sunflower here, we have a little jack-o'-lantern face, and then there's a couple of sayings here that we can put onto some tags for the projects inside here. So digging in farther, here are the instructions, and this is this month's kit. It is these really fun test tubes. So it's September 2016, something good to eat instructions. So essentially all we are needing to do is put a banner onto the tube, stamp our little tag guys, glue those on, and then wrap some twine around the top. So very fun. As always, comes with full photo instructions. So digging in further, we have our little glue dots here. We've got our linen thread. This stuff is awesome. Even if you didn't want to do the project in here, you can do so much with the materials that you get every month. So here we go. We've got the little banners here. So cute. I like, this one's my favorite, I think, the purple and the black. It's really fun. And then here are the little tags. So these are black outline. These are gold outline. You can see those kind of metallic shimmery. And we have some cauldrons. We have some kitty cats. And we have some pumpkins and sunflowers already stamped and ready to go. So those are so cool. And then down here, this is the piece de resistance, if that's what you want to call it. We've got our little plastic test tubes with our corks here. And then that is everything in the box this month. So let's go ahead and put a couple of these together. I have all my materials laid out here, ready to go. My stamp here, this one says something good to eat. So I'm going to take some of that Old Olive, and I'm using the regular size pad because I don't want to open up that classic stamp spot. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment right onto my little tags. Got one sunflower and one little pumpkin. All right. And done with the ink. That's all the stamping I'm going to do. Just going to put two of these guys together. And we'll do one of these. Looks kind of like crushed curry and Tip Top Taupe maybe. I'll have to see if I can find the exact colors we have in there. And then you just put your banner on your tube, grab a glue dot. Uh-oh. Is he sticky? Yeah. Okay, and put our little glue dot on here. Peel off the backing on that guy and pick one of these up. Stick that down. And then 10 inches of that linen thread. Uh-oh. And tie it around there. I'm actually going to do it this way since I already stuck that little label down. Kind of helps it from rolling around on me. So if I tie it this direction first, I can just swing it around so the bow's in the front. Make it a little easier on us, right? Okay. Fiddle around with that bow a little. Not hard to do with that linen thread. It's pretty malleable. Malleable. Okay, there we go. And there is one of our little test tubes done. Super quick and easy this month. There's really not much to it. These would make super cute Halloween goodies. You can put nerds in here. You could put those little sixlets, those tiny little chocolate balls that come in, you know, those really thin, narrow packages. Tic Tacs, M&Ms, Skittles, any small treat. You could really get creative and and shoved down in here. So give this to some very special ghouls and goblins in your life. Now the alternates this month are kind of tricky since I try and use only the supplies that came in the kit to make an alternate project, but this one might be a little bit difficult because of the test tubes. So what I'm going to do is kind of change it up slightly, and I'm going to make something that will hold these test tubes and then decorate it with the items that come into this month's kit. So let's go ahead and get started with what we're going to do for the alternate for this month. All right, so we're going to start with a piece of basic black cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches. With the 11 inches up at the top, we are going to score it in the following places. The first one you're going to do is a 1/2 inch, then at 3 inches, 4 1/2, and 7. We're going to grab our bone folder and crease all those score lines. And on the side that has the 1/2 inch score here, you're going to fold that in. You're going to take a 3/4 inch circle punch and pop that in as far as it'll go and line it up with the right hand side. Do the same with the other side, as far as it'll go, and line it up. And then go in the middle. Just try and center that as best as you can. And there we go. We have 3 holes punched out of here. So we're going to run some fast fuse along this 1/2 inch section. And then you're going to fold this in like this and fold this flap over. And there is our little stand so far. So we can go ahead and get our test tubes placed down in there. Just to make sure everything is a good fit. So once you test it to make sure that everything fits okay, then we can go ahead and start decorating. All right, I have a couple of designer series paper pieces here. This circle measures 1 3/4 inch, and it is cut out from the pumpkins, but we're going to use this side today. I have another piece that is cut at 4 inches by 1 7/8 inch. I have another piece that is cut at 4 inches by 1 1/4 inch. And finally, a contrasting piece. It's just the opposite side of the polka dot. So this piece measures 4 inches by 5/8 inch. So we're going to start with a 1 1/4 inch wide strip, and I'm going to adhere this with some snail to the front of my little stand. Right down here, making sure there's even amount of room all the way around. And then I'm going to lay this down on my grid paper. I want to glue these 2 pieces together, so I want this to measure 2 1/4 inches. So if I line this up with the 5, this side here with the 5, then I can scooch this in until I get to 7 1/4. And then I'm going to want to glue these 2 pieces together. So on the back of my large piece, I'm going to run some snail. And with this at the 7 1/4 mark, you could use any measurement on your grid paper, but that's just where it happens to land in the middle for me. So I'm going to line this up at the 7 1/4. Going to match it up until I have a width that measures 2 1/4 inches. Just like that. Then I'm going to run the snail on the back. And adhere that to the top panel. I'm going to color in some pumpkins using the stamp set. So I'm going to grab this full image pumpkin here. And I'm going to use pumpkin pie. I'm going to use Old Olive for the stem. This tiny little guy here. Woo! Okay, then we're going to use Smoky Slate for this shadow. And that gives us a really cool effect on that pumpkin. I'm going to use my 1 3/8 inch circle punch. This is the old style. Just pick this up here and punch this out. Going to take some dimensionals and pop that up onto this piece. I'm going to grab some of that Halloween Night Baker's twine. I have about 15 or 16 inches of this baker's twine. I'm going to turn this guy over, put a little bit of snail on the back, and then just start looping this around. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals back there. I'm going to stick that back here. Okay, so that's what we have so far. I'm going to take one of these labels that just is outlined in black, and with basic black ink, I'm going to take the sentiment from the Paper Pumpkin set that says, "No tricks, just treats." And I'm going to stamp it horizontally on that. Well, I guess I'm stamping it vertically on a horizontal label. Like that. And we're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. And then we are ready to put our test tubes back in. And there we go. We have our little test tube goodie holder. I hope you guys enjoyed this Paper Pumpkin project. Let me know what you thought by leaving me a comment. Click thumbs up on this video if you liked it, and please hit that subscribe button if you want to be notified when I post new content. Visit me on Facebook at facebook.com/mkreations and shop with me anytime online at my website, melissascreations.stampinup.net. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed.